don't think I'm going to have anybody watching this, but I'm going to make it anyway. It is 8:40 p.m. Uh, Back to school night just was over about an hour ago, so I'm home, and I know I should have done this earlier, but I didn't get a chance. So this is the video for lesson 5 practice, the practice for lesson 5. Okay, but I feel like we need to address a few things. Let's talk about these 2 points, point A and B. Point A, its coordinates are 3, 4, which means from the origin, you're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right, because that's positive, and then 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's positive. And that's how I get to point A. Point B, it's 5, 2, so remember the first number is always a movement left and right, because it's 5 positive. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the second number is also positive, which means I go up 1, 2. So that's the location of 5, 2. Now, let's talk about translations. So let's say I asked you to move those 2 points 5 units to the, let's make it 7 units to the left and 5 down. What would happen? Well, I need you to understand that 7, when you move 7, the coordinate that's going to be affected, it's going to be the 3 and the 5. The coordinate on the x. Right? So 7, so let's just think about 7 left me. So here's A, right? And if you go 7 units to the left, you're moving this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So notice that you didn't go up and down, you just moved horizontally. So you went from here, you went from here, 7 units to the left. So let's do that again. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's my new spot. And what do we call our new spot? We call the new spot A prime. But we're not done yet, because that's 7 left, and I forgot. I shouldn't even have put A prime yet, because that's not its final destination. 7 left, and what do we have to do with that? And we got to go 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where A prime is going to be. Let's work on B. 7 left and 5 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's B prime. So notice that 7, when you move left and right, it affects the x coordinate. When you move up and down, it affects the y coordinate. So the rule for this, and this is how I would write it. Here it was your original point, x and y. What happened to it? To the x value, we went left, so we subtracted 7. Right? To the y value, we went down. Right? So y was on this floor. Think about where y is, and y is coming down. So y was, from wherever it was, it went down 5 units. So if we add this, so if you think about it, let's just point A and use the rule. So point A was, the x value was 3, and it went down 7, which means it went left 7, and then y was 4, and we have to subtract 1 from it. So point A, 3 minus 7 is -4, and 4 minus 5 is -1. Point A prime, I should say, landed on -4 and 1. Am I correct? Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and guess what? 1 down. That is -4, -1. Okay, point B. Let's apply the rule to point B. So for point B, or B prime, we're going to take the 5, which is the x value, and to it we're going to subtract 7 because it's going left. And the y, remember, B was on the, think about a floor maybe in the building. It's on the 2nd floor, and it's going to go how many floors? 5 floors down. So let's see where it lands. So as far as going left was 5, Think on number 9 with number line it was on number 5. If you take 7 steps to the left, it is now on -2. Think of an elevator. B was on the second floor. We told the elevator to go down 5 floors. It is now on the -3rd floor. Does this answer matches this location here? Well, that's 1, 2 to the left and 3 down, so that is indeed -2. So that's what the translation does, right? It moves your point left and right and or up and down. All right, so let's look at reflections for a second. Okay. And let's see these 2 points. So there are a few lines of reflections, but let's do the ones that they talked about. But this is the y-axis, the vertical line, and the x-axis. So let's do the vertical one first. So imagine you're standing in front of the mirror, and here's your mirror. I just drew your mirror. Where would your image be on the other side? Well, with reflection, the important thing is to know is that your position and your image position are equally distant from the line of reflection. So if you look at A is 1, 2, 3 units on this side of the mirror. So your image on the other side of the mirror should be 1, 2, 3. And that's where A prime is. Let's look at B. Where's B? Well, B, if you count, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And where's B prime on the other side? Well, B prime would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's where B prime is. But now I need you to notice one thing. So this is a reflection over the y-axis. So if you look at the reflection of A, which is now A prime, ask yourselves, up and down, did we go anywhere? Is A still on, again, remember this is, think of elevator, this is the ground floor, the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, the fourth floor. Is A still on the fourth floor? Yes, it is. So I know that the second coordinate, the y coordinate, which represents, right, its position vertically, it's 4 units above 0, right? It's 4 units above 0. Well, what about left and right? That changed. A, if you think of a number line, was a +3. Where is A now? It's at -3. The reflection is at -3. Same floor, but on the other side. Look at B. B prime. Did B and B prime, did they change floors? No, they're still on the second floor, so we can write they're still on the second floor. But B was a +5, and B prime is at -5. So if you notice these two, and like we did in class today, and they asked you for the if you notice the rule, we can write that, hey, my original point xy, how did it change? Well, as far as numbers wise, they both stay the same. Look, it's 3, 4, here's 3, 4, this is 5, 2, this is still 5, 2. So they're both the same numbers, except that x, right, is the opposite. So let me do another point here. Let me pick this point here, C. C prime. Let's call that C. C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C is at -8, 8 to the left, and going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 up. So C is -8 units to the left and 7 units up. Where would be C prime? Well, C prime would be on this side of the mirror. How many units? 8 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So C prime ends up being here. But let's apply the rule. So here's the rule. The original point is -8, 7. So according to the rule, if we reflect this over the y-axis, the numbers stay the same. It's still 8 and 7. But what does this minus sign mean? That minus actually means to negate, to change whatever it is to its opposite. So in this case, it was -8. And if we negate -8, what does it become? +8, which is this point right here. 8 to the right and 7 and that's point C prime. Okay, so let me do a reflection over the x-axis now. So let's reflect this. So let me reflect this going this way. Right, so I've showed you a couple of pictures of water, and here's a mountain. So its reflection would be a mountain down here as well. So that's what we're doing when we reflect over the x-axis. So here's the x-axis, and right, A and B are 2 points above x-axis. So where would their reflection be? Well, as far as where the reflection is, that's the easy part. So let's just, where is B prime? B prime would be right here. 2 spaces, 2 units below the x-axis, because B is 2 units above. And where's A prime? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. A prime. So the rule is a little bit different. The rule over the x-axis is different. Notice that this time around, we're not on the same floor. A, and if you look at A, where is A? A is on the fourth floor. Where is A prime? A prime is all the way down on the negative 4th floor. Right? Are they, what about on the x? The x coordinate? Well, they're both 3 units to the right, which makes it 3 positive. So the number stays the same, but it's not 4 anymore, it's negative 4. Look at B. Well, B prime is 5 over to the right and 2 units down. So it's still 5 and 2, but the 2 is negative. So when you reflect over the x-axis, your original points x and y, they still stay x and y. But instead of negating x, who are we negating? We're negating y, meaning whatever y is, you're going to do its opposite. So if it's negative 5, it's now 5. If it's positive 8, it's now 8. It's negative 8, and so on. So it's always the opposite of the original. Okay. Do we do translations? Okay. I'm going to hope we did translations. All right, let's move on. So that's what that says. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so this one we're going to plot the locations of point A, B, C after translation. So we're going to take all 4 points and move 4 to the right and 1 up. Also, look at A. Well, this one's probably just easier counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 up. So here's A prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 up. A prime. And right away, I'm going to put the point. So that is 1, negative 2, and 6 up. B prime, 1, 2, oh my god, I can't see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 up. There's B prime. That's 5, 6, 7 to the right, positive, and 3 up. C, well, if you look at the origin, right, actually, sorry, we got 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 up. So C prime ends up being right there. C prime is 4, comma 1. Okay. Reflection over the y-axis. So what I always tell people is to highlight, take a highlighter or something, reflect a line sorry, reflect the line. Highlight the line of reflection. So we're going over this. So if you're here, your reflection is going to be here. Right? You're not going to go up here. That's not where you want to go. So you're going to go left to right. So if you're here, Mr. Cho is here. His image would be on this side. Okay, not down here and not down here. That's a no, that's a no. If we're reflecting over the y-axis, if I'm standing here, my image will be on this side, really distant from the mirror. Okay, so we want to reflect over the y-axis, label the points D and E. Okay, so that's the y-axis, so here's point D. Where would D prime be? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3. So on the other side, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and this is where D prime is. E. If I count E, E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces away from the mirror. So on the other side of the mirror, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where E prime is. And they want the coordinates. Okay, so D is 1, 2, 3, and 3 up. So 3 to the right, 3 up. Those both positive. E prime is negative 5 to the right and 0 because it doesn't go up or down. Next one. What is this? Determine the coordinates of each point after it's reflected over the x-axis. So we're going to take this image, and here's my mirror, my line of reflection. It's the x-axis. So everybody who's on top, I need their image to be shown under, right? So think of the lake, and here's your mountain, the blue shape, and its image should be down here. So let's start with this one. Well, this point is right on the water, right? So where would, actually, they give us a point, sorry. So negative 2 and 0, what in the world? Hang on a second. Yeah, negative 2 and 0 is right this one. So where is its image? Well, it's right. It's on the same location, right? Because they're both right there on top of the water. Nothing changes. Negative 2 and 2 is this guy right here. Where is its image? Well, its image would be right here. Negative 2, but instead of 2 up would be 2 down. So we're going to write negative 2 and negative 2. This point is 1 unit above the water, so its reflection would be 1 unit below the water. So it's going to be 0, comma, negative 1. 1, 3 is this guy here. So its image would be 1 to the right, but still, instead of going 3 up, we would go 3 down. 1, 2, 3. 1, comma, negative 3. And then finally this guy here is negative 1, 1 to the left, and 3 up. So its image would be 1 to the left and 3 down. 1, 2. If you connect the dots, we have that same image that we had on top, but on the other side of the mirror at the bottom. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Look at point H. I mean, point H is 5, 3. So somewhere on the coordinate plane, there's on the point 5, 3. I'm making it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So here's 0.53. This is my x coordinate. This is my y coordinate. So what they're saying that this is going to go 4 down and 3 to the left. Right. So it's 5 and 3. So imagine, remember, again, the first number, the 5, is your x coordinate, and the 3 is your y coordinate. So it's saying that's going to go 3 left. So 3 left is going to affect the 5. And then 4 down is going to affect the y. So think about it. You're on 5, right? Think of a number line. You're 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're here right now. And they tell you go 3 left. So if you're 5 and you go 3 left, where do you land? 1, 2, 3. Where do you land? You land at 2. If you're on the third floor, right, this is positive 3. So again, if you want to draw something like this and say, hey, 0, 1, 2, 3. You're on the third floor. You take the elevator, and it takes you 4 floors down. 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors. On which floor do you land? And now underground by 1 floor. So do we have 2, negative 1? 2, negative 1? Yeah, we do. So we have a point xy somewhere on the graph, right? It's reflected over the y-axis. So remember what happens when you reflect over the y-axis. So let's pretend, and since they are not telling us, I'm just going to pretend this is my xy. If I reflect this over the y-axis, which is this guy, right? This is going to end up something on this side, somewhere on this side. Well, are we on the same floor? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we still on the 5th floor, for example? Yes. So that means this guy here, the y does not change, but the x changes. It can't be the same x because this is positive and this is negative. So let's reflect it. So if we reflect it, it would get me to this, negative x and y. And then from here, they're asking you to take this 5 to the right and 2 units down. So remember, when you go left and right, we're talking about this guy. When we talk about going up and down, we talk about the line. So we have the point negative x and y, and we're going to go 5 units to the right. So negative x, what are we going to do with negative x? I don't know where it is, but to wherever that is, I'm going to add 5. And then my y value, what am I doing to my y value? I'm going to take it down. So my y, and to take it down means to subtract 2. That's the expression that I want. I don't know if I want to do the spiral. You guys can figure that out. That's it. Done.